must try!
Winning tips!
Money matters! Love and me!
Aha! Pag-usapan na yan kasama ang iyong mga BFF!
Magandang hapon Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Ganon din po sa ating mga international na mga viewers and listeners coming from different countries. Meron tayong mga taga-Europe, merong mga taga-Amerika, at lahat ng ating mga kababayan na nakikinig sa buong kapulungan. So, umaga, tanghali, hapon man sa inyong lugar, binabati namin kayo ng isang ma-beauty at happy na BFF Day. Saber Day na naman. At pag-uusapan natin ngayon sa matinding init na panahon ang isang mainit na topic. At ito ay tungkol sa health, kalusugan. Kaya ito po ang inyong BFF Attorney EA at kasama BFF Cheska at BFF Glady bumabati sa inyo ng isang Happy Healthy Day. At once again, ang ating pong bisita, ating suki, ating friend dito sa ka-BFF International Coach at syempre, laging tumutulong hindi lamang sa atin bilang kaibigan kundi sa maraming mga Pilipino at sa iba't ibang bansa. Ladies and gentlemen, mga ka-BFF, the founder of Health Coach International, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss BFF Jessica C. Last time, Jessica, you discussed about health, but maybe our listeners are not able to tune in at that time. Maybe it would be nice if you will again introduce who Jessica C. is.
Thank you, BFF Attorney Ethel. Yes, thank you for inviting me again. I'm so privileged to be able to speak to all my Filipino friends as well. Yes, so I am the founder of Health Coach International and Health Coach Academy based in Singapore, but we also have office in Malaysia as well. Yeah. So what do? Well, we specialize in corporate wellness programs. Since 2009, we have been working with companies who want to ensure that their staff stay happy and healthy. And that is important, isn't it? Not just, for the bottom line of the company, but also, so that we have less medical costs and so on. Because, when you have a happy workforce, you know that everyone is working well together.
Wow, that's a very nice advocacy. It's not just for you who would like to live longer, but also for many of your flock or followers or friends, not just your family members, to also live longer healthy. And that's very important because that is already our wealth. Last time,
yes,
and due to time constraint, we are not able to discuss a beautiful, beautiful book that you just had published. And I have one copy. Yeah, here is the one copy. And this is entitled Habits of Health, Path to Stay Healthy for Life. My gosh. Thank you that I am able to have this privilege and honor to hand this very healthy and happy book. Tell us, what are the insights that we can find and read in this beautiful, amazing book?
Well, thank you. Yeah. So basically, in Habits of Health, I emphasize the importance of sustainable behavior change through, small, consistent actions. It's not about, just for a short period of time, you say, oh, I'm going to eat healthy or I'm going to exercise like crazy, because I want to lose weight or whatever. It is about the habits, about the small, consistent actions that we take every single day.
Wow.
So,
Right.
And that is why the subline says path to stay healthy for life. So it's not just, oh, this is a message on how to get healthy, full stop. But really, it's about when you have the right habits in place, then it stays with you for life.
Right. Let me just explain that in Tagalog because many of our listeners do come from the province and that we have different dialect, but most of it is well understood in Filipino. Ang sinasabi niya, kung meron daw tayong maliliit na steps like 1, 2, 3, then ito na isasagawa natin at hindi tumitigil ang ating kalusugan bagkos na ipagpapatuloy natin ng mahabang panahon kasi nagiging habit na natin ito. Ang habit is continuous. Habit is sustainable. Habit is about the behavioral change, sabi ni Jessica, pagbabago ng ugali. Hindi lang yun, ay gusto kong mamayat or gusto kong bumaba ang timbang ko ng 10 pounds. No, this is after losing weight, now I stay healthy. And she is saying, if we are healthy, we are wealthy, we are happy. I just want to know, what is your inspiration for writing this kind of book? Because it's really touching the core of human behavior.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, what I really want to put across is that, staying healthy is not that difficult at all. It is making those, the change, it's like a fire, let's say, for example, you have, you want to start a fire, you have a lighter, so it's that spark. And that spark is basically just, can I make a change in my habit? So it is just that spark. And once that fire is light up, you will find that it continues to burn, which is why I really feel very passionate about helping people to understand the science behind habit change.
Right. Happy change is simple change. It is a continuous change. It is a decision to change. It is a decision to stay healthy because, again, healthy is being happy. Why? Because there's no medication.
Yeah.
You don't need to have maintenance medicine. You don't need to have very expensive medical procedure. Why? Because you have already stayed healthy and you are maintaining to be healthy without the use of synthetic medication. I just hope that, Filipino people will be able to get this book, grab this book at this first juncture. May we know how can we, so there you are, how can we grab a copy of this Healthy for Life book?
Well, okay, we will have to share a link with you. It's right now, of course, not available in, the major stores because it just came out. Yeah. Eventually, I think it will be on the stores. Yeah. But really, I mean, what I really want to share in terms of this book is that we need to first start off like what you mentioned just now, is to understand. If we don't understand why we do what we do, then we can't make the changes because habits stick. That's why we call it a habit. Think, for example, of, brushing your teeth. Did anyone have to tell you this morning, BFF, Atty, Ethel, it's time to brush your teeth? Nobody, right? It just becomes automatic. Nobody tells us. But maybe when we were a child, I don't know whether it's that case with you, but as a child, my mother had to tell me, hey, it's time to brush your teeth, So that is before it became a habit. Now nobody needs to tell me. I brush my teeth even if I'm maybe half asleep, just woken up and half asleep, you're still brushing your teeth.
Right. So It's good that we have started off with this marvelous news that we can sustain that healthy life if we have that sustainable habit. We will go on for a break, and when we come back, we are going to discuss what are the principles or the simple strategies that I or our listeners and viewers should do in order to have that lasting, healthy change. So we go on for the break. BFF Jessica from Singapore and BFF Attorney EA magbabalik po makalipas ang ilang talastas. Magandang hapon Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao at kahit nasaan man kayo, kung merong internet connection, yes, nasa BFF kayo. Every Saturday, nagdadala kami ng good news, good vibes, healthy news, proper news at lahat ng magagandang balita para sa inyo. Kaya stay tuned, huwag kayong aalis kasi andito ang inyong ka-BFF, BFF Attorney EA. Sama-sama tayo Pilipino at eto na ang ating kaibigan mula sa Singapore, ang founder of Health Coach International at Certified Health Coach from Singapore to Malaysia, all over the world. Ang kanyang advocacy is to change that habit so that health is not just one time, it's going to be sustainable forever. Right. So, kanina pinag-usapan natin ano ang kaniyang naging inspiration. At ang inspiration niya is tulungan ang maraming tao na mahabang buhay na walang sakit. Okay, tanungin natin ngayon, what are the different principles and strategies for us to have that healthy life or a change to the pathway of a healthy life? Okay, health coach BFF Jessica, bring it on.
That's a great question, BFF RTEA. Yeah, so basically the key principles revolve around understanding the science of habits. Why we do what we do, which means what are the triggers. Number two, how to then create a new structure, to put a new structure in place so that we can now mindlessly live healthier. Okay, so take healthy eating as an example. So some of you may say, I want to stop my habit of snacking on potato chips, maybe whenever I switch on TV.
Right.
How do we do that? Well, first we need to understand how the habit loop works. It's a loop, okay? It starts with a cue, okay? We experience a stimulus, something stimulate our mind to say, okay, I want to have snacks. Secondly, the craving. Now, this stimulus causes you to desire something, maybe some nice taste on your lips, on your mouth, really. And, some particular outcome that you want, that motivates you, that rewards you. So that's called the craving. So the first one was the cue, then the craving, and then we respond by doing that behavior. And number four, we get the reward. So this is a loop. The reward then makes us go through that same loop again and again and again.
Right.
Do you want to explain that? Well,
yes.
Then
okay.
I'll give the example of the craving. Yeah.
Yeah. So, explain ko sa Tagalog, no, yung sinabi niya. So, actually, nabasa natin dito sa libro, yung kanyang sinabi na isa daw siyang loop, no? Isang siyang loop. Nag-i-start daw siya doon sa cue, kagustuhan, okay? Craving, syempre. At ngayon, pagbibigyan ko ba ang craving na to? Kasi pag pinagbigyan ko yung craving na yon, yun ang iyong reward. So, ang sabi niya, paikot-ikot-ikot lang ito at ito dapat ang putulin natin kung mali. If that is wrong, then we have to cut the cycle. If that is
Yeah.
a correct cycle, then we go on with the cycle.
Yeah.
My gosh, what if my cycle of health is not so good, that I am into my craving for junk food, fast food, potato chips, because I'm thinking that it's my, TV time, Netflix time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so what do I
Okay.
do?
Yeah. So yeah, that is right. So basically, let's say taking the snacking. Yeah. So the cue is when we switch on the TV, very automatically, a lot of us want to snack. Why? Because I always tell people that when we switch on the TV to watch our favorite show, our mind is active. But now our tongue is very bored. It's very boring because our mind is stimulated, our eyes are stimulated, but our tongue says, hey, I'm bored, So we find something that we want to delight the tongue. Okay, so that is fine. Now we cannot stop it like that. We cannot say, oh, okay, no more TV. No, that's not the way. Neither can we say, oh, tongue, keep quiet. Don't desire anything. You can't, right? But what we can do is, now we understand what is triggering us. We need to set a different structure in place. Okay, so meaning. Let us look at potato chips, for example. Where do you get your potato chips? So you switch on the TV, where do you look for your potato chips? So maybe you will go to the kitchen and you have done a stock up, you have potato chips there, and you just take it and you eat. So now you understand that. You say, okay, look, it starts not from when I switch on the TV, but it starts from when I go shopping in the supermarket.
Right.
Don't buy potato chips.
Right. Okay.
Because there's no way that when you switch on the television, you are going to say, oh, I want potato chips, but none in the house. Let me go to the supermarket. You won't, because you don't want to miss your favorite show.
Right. True. So, okay, let me explain that in Tagalog. What she's saying is, hindi siya nagsisimula doon sa nanonood ka kasi hingi ka ng pagkain. Hindi. Bago pa lang manood kasi nagsha-shopping ka na. Sa grocery pa lang, bumibili ka na kaagad ng mga junk food. So, ang kailangan mong baguhin ay ang pag-iisip na yung junk food hindi maganda sa'yo. So, dapat hindi mo na siya bibilhin sa iyong grocery list para wala kang kukuhanin kapag mag-tune in ka na sa iyong television, right? Because if you don't have it while you're watching, then you don't want to stop what you're watching. You'll continue with your watching, and you cannot get anything because there's nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I think that's a good savings also.
But however, we are not saying that you don't want to delight your tongue. You still want.
Right.
So now it's the second step. Okay. So the first step is to make sure you don't buy those unhealthy snacks. Second step, of course, is to then understand, okay, what are healthier options?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because you don't want to don't want to let your tongue say, I've got nothing to do, So yeah, you want to occupy your tongue as well, which is fair. So, so you think of what you can still enjoy and like to eat that is healthy. For example, maybe some nuts. Yeah, nuts are good for us. So now when you do your shopping, you say, okay, I need snacks, because, when I watch TV, I want to have some snacks.
Right.
Now I buy nuts.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but for me, I just share,
Yes.
for me,
Yes.
I love sweet potato fries. Okay,
Sweet.
big sweet
Okay.
potato. So
Okay.
I will always have in my kitchen the purple sweet potato, right?
Okay.
So now when I switch on the television and let's say it's advertisement time, you know, we always want something to do. So I will go to the kitchen, I will cut up my sweet potato into like strips,
Mm-hmm.
put some cinnamon powder, put some
Mm-hmm.
olive oil, and
Mm-hmm.
I put it in the oven toaster,
Right.
the timer on for maybe 10 minutes,
Right.
and I go back to my television, right?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. So it's like
yeah,
planning for something that is healthy,
correct.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that you can make planning for something healthy, then buying something healthy because it's part of the plan. And if you're
yeah,
able to buy now what is healthy, then that is your perfect choice. And I like
yeah,
what you said. The sweet potato is a healthy option. It's also
yeah,
a matter of knowing what is healthy.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Knowing what is
yeah,
healthy, what
yeah,
are the food that are healthy? Like sweet potato is very cheap in the market
yeah,
here in the Philippines.
yeah,
So ito po yung kamote in Tagalog.
yeah.
So pwede pala natin siya cinnamon roll or ano bang
No,
alternative?
cinnamon powder, cinnamon
Powder.
powder.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what is there any alternative to sugar? Because white sugar is not good, right? So
yeah,
if I'd
yeah,
like to have a sweet taste,
yeah,
is there any
yeah.
healthy alternative to white
Okay.
sugar?
Okay, so why cinnamon powder? Okay,
Yes,
cinnamon
yes.
as a herb actually is the one that delights the tongue. You see, our tongue
Oh,
is
okay.
bored. So it's
Okay.
not whether it wants sweet or whatever. It
Okay.
basically, the sweet potato is sweet anyway.
Okay.
But you know, when you put a bit of that cinnamon powder, and I also put a little bit of salt, yeah.
Yeah.
So the sweetness, the a little bit of salty taste, the olive oil, all that makes your tongue feels, oh, this is so interesting.
Okay. Right, right. So it now gives a satisfying effect and your tongue will not crave or say, I am bored. I am excited
Yes.
now. That's a good thing because we're talking about food. I like to eat, right? So
Yeah.
we will be back after a few commercials and we are going to talk about overcoming the challenges because
Yeah.
it's not easy to change the old habit and give us some tips on how to overcome this so that we will be successful in maintaining that pathway to a healthy life. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, BFF Jessica C. from Singapore and your BFF Attorney EA magbabalik makalipas lamang po ang ilang patalastas. Magandang araw Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao sa lahat ng ating mga listeners sa London, sa Australia, sa USA, Michigan, New York, New Jersey, sa ating mga kaibigan diyan sa Venice, sa Taiwan, Thailand, sa Malaysia, sa Singapore, sa Hong Kong. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig. Sana mag-continue po kayo sapagkat we are partner now with the Health Coach International to give learning advocacy to the Filipino people. Please always stay tuned with Radyo Natin because you will be seeing and hearing more of the lectures of Jessica C, and you will definitely benefit from her wide experience on health. Also, she is part, since we have the partnership, you will see her once Neo AMCA is able to organize trainings that are very much needed for human resource because it is not just work performance, it should be the ability of the
Yeah.
body
Yeah.
to perform. So,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, once again, our friend, no, who's our partner now in BFF, Jessica C. It seems difficult for someone who has this delight in sweets, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
stopping is indeed a challenge. That is
mm,
an
mm,
issue that could be a problem.
mm.
How do we now overcome this?
mm,
What are the simple things that you can suggest
mm.
to those people who are really having a hard time to
Yeah.
cut on the unhealthy things?
Yeah, absolutely. That is common to all of us, every one of us. And some of the challenges that some of us may face, of course, include lack of motivation. Sometimes it could be time constraints. For some people, they're so busy and perhaps they know that, fast food is not a very good option, but they say, I have no time. How do I even get healthier food, for lunch or whatever? I'm working and there's nowhere near my workplace, for example. So time constraints. And of course, most common is the difficulty of breaking old habits. Yeah, so we just automatically, as I mentioned just now about the brushing of teeth, we just automatically reach for, whatever that makes us happy. Yeah, it could be snacking on sweets, for example, or, and so on. Yeah. So to answer your question, how do we overcome these challenges?
Right.
How do we overcome these challenges? Of course, first and foremost is clarity in what we really want for ourselves. We need to spend time to reflect. Many people are just so busy being busy, they have no time to reflect. And this is really important. Don't wait for the truck to hit you before you say, I need help. No, take that time right now, okay? Or maybe after this program.
Right.
Take the time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, reflect for yourself. What do I really want for my life, for my family?
Right, right.
What is important to you?
Yes. So let me translate that in Tagalog. Ang sinasuggest niya, tigil, mag-reflect, mag-isip, ano ang importante sa buhay natin? Bakit ba ako andito sa mundo? Anong ginagawa ko sa mundo? Anong dapat mangyari sa buhay ko sa mundo? So, reflect, reflect, reflect. Okay? And maybe after the program, she's suggesting that we can have a reflection. It's not taking the entire day. It could just be few minutes of silence, a pause, a stop from our very busy life. Yes. And perhaps if you like to, yes, what's the second thing that we can do?
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, so that is clarity on your values, what you really want for yourself. If health is really what you want for yourself, and if you want it bad enough, then you will know that, okay, look, if I have to sacrifice my unhealthy snacks, I will, because health is important to me. Yeah. But first and foremost is that motivation. You have to, no one else can tell you. No one else, only yourself, you will know what could be your motivation. It could be your kids, it could be yourself, it could be the fact that you don't want to be, for example, bedridden when you're at your old age, or whatever. Yeah.
Right. It could also be a family medical history, and you have seen
Yes. Yes.
your old people suffered from
Yes.
sickness or diseases, and you are trying to cut that already
Yeah.
in your life, and maybe in the
Yeah.
life of your family if you have your family,
Yeah.
children, right?
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
also be an inspiring story of your old generation who are healthy, and you had seen them, no
Yeah.
medication, living a very long life, happy life, and they're not spending whatever savings they have on health
Yeah.
issues, rather on what really needs. So it's a good thing. Find the motivating factor,
Yeah.
find the values if it could be. It could also be, yes, find whatever aspect in your life that can trigger that path to health,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there other things that we need to do
Yeah.
after deciding on what
Yeah.
values that and
Yeah.
what decision?
Yes. So after that, the next step is to start with small, manageable change. So
Okay.
as I always tell my clients, we use what we call the plus minus,
Mhm.
So, don't make a 360-degree change. You
Right,
can't, because it's like, oh, your mind cannot take it, right?
right.
So you just need, like, okay, what can
Small.
I add today?
Mhm.
That is a bit healthier. So, let
Mhm.
me add a little bit more vegetables, for
Right.
example, let me, add one fruit, to
Okay.
my whole day, so add. And then
Mhm.
that's the plus. And then the minus, so, okay, what can I minus, from my unhealthy habits?
Mhm.
And maybe it is smoking. Okay, can I smoke
Mhm.
less? Can I
Mhm.
smoke 2 cigarettes less, let's say, for example,
Mhm.
so it is these small manageable changes, right? And then slowly, this will help us move forward, all the
Mhm.
time focusing on our intrinsic
Interest.
motivation and our
Right.
personal values.
Yeah. So focus on that goal and then take smaller steps which you can do daily. So hindi malaking pagbabago kasi pag malaki parang baka hindi natin kaya. So maliit, maliit lang na steps na araw-araw na pwede natin gagawin. Sabi niya plus at minus. Anong pwede kong idagdag sa araw ko ngayon? Baka pwedeng magdagdag ako ng vegetable or magdagdag ako ng fruit. If ever mahal ito, then maybe yung fruit in season.
Mm.
Tapos ano naman yung pwede kong bawasan? Sabi niya, smoking, paninigarilyo, o di kaya is anything na sa tingin natin ay nakakabawas ng ating kalusugan. Pwedeng bawasan siguro yung pagiging workaholic kasi baka workaholic ka, hindi ka na natutulog. Pwede
Mhm.
sigurong bawasan ang pag-inom ng mga soft drinks, medyo
Yeah.
palitan, no? Magkaroon ng
Yeah.
interval. If you're drinking soft
Yeah.
drinks, 10 in a day, baka pwedeng 5 na muna and then hanggang sa so
Yeah.
gradual, maliit,
Mm.
small steps para hindi ka nagugulat, no? So parang David ka muna, hindi ka muna Goliath, no? So parang kaya mo
Mm.
ngayong ah, gawin ito araw-araw, right?
Mm.
Uh, and also, Jessica, there's one thing about smoking. Kasi when we talk of smoking, we thought of the smokers only. If the
Mm.
household has someone who is smoking, then the
Mm.
entire household is
Mm.
unhealthy.
Yes,
So I
yes.
think this could also be, I mean, a simple stop between
Mm.
and among those who are smoking and not smoking, and perhaps discuss, take a
Yeah.
decision on how
Mm.
to
Mm.
like lessen the smoking or not
Mm.
or having boundaries. Because sometimes I
Mm.
could see like Filipino man would be using the entire house when they smoke. And how about the children, right? Yes, the mommies and the children,
Mm.
they're not smoking, but the thing is the daddy is smoking and the daddy has been
Second
spreading
hand smoke.
the
Yeah.
smoke in the entire house. So
Yeah.
pwedeng pag-usapan parang daddy, labas ka muna outside of the house when you smoke so that at least the people inside will not be affected, right? Um
Mm.
Maganda 'yun, no? So do we need to write all of this so that we will not forget? Do you suggest those people who are decided to take this simple steps, should we write that? Or
Uh, well, not really so much writing, but really,
right.
I think what we need to do is to prioritize consistency. Okay,
Mhm, mhm.
so it's not about once in a while. So it's not like, oh, okay, I heard this radio show and I'm going to do this, do that,
Yeah.
and after maybe a week you forget about it. So no, it is really about small little steps so that you
Mm.
don't feel overwhelmed. And that small step, you do it consistently.
Right, right. Okay,
right?
for this segment,
Yeah.
before we end, that is the perfect word to put in our mind. Consistency. Parate, palagi, hindi nakakalimutan, hindi pwedeng nag-stop, kundi parate nating isinasagawa ang pagbabago. Dahil pag nakalimutan natin, babalik na naman tayo sa old habit. Again, that's letter C on consistency. And when we go back, that would be our last segment. We are going to discuss what are the other tips, what are the lessons, what are the things that you like to impart on our Filipino people, and perhaps no, we can schedule again sections of discussion so that we can give more examples doon sa ating mga listeners and viewers. We will be back after a few commercials. BFF Jessica C from Singapore and BFF Attorney EA, sama-sama tayo, Filipino. Okay. Magandang hapon Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Para sa lahat ng ating mga nakikinig at nanonood, sama-sama tayo Pilipino. At syempre matindi ang init ng araw. Pero nakakatuwa kasi ngayong summer, pinag-uusapan natin ngayon ang habits of health. At ang mismong author ng libro na kaibigan natin from Health Coach International, ito po, yan. Ang author ay nasa likod at ngayon kasama natin, author ng Healthy for Life, si Miss Jessica C, ang founder of Health Coach International, certified health coach, lifestyle medicine professional. Nako, with all of this that she has earned all her life, she is sharing to all of us the advocacy of really making the entire universe healthy. Okay, please tell us the things that we need to inject or insert or add in our day-to-day living so that we will be consistent in this habit of health.
Yeah. So yes, so we were talking about consistency because we must remember consistent actions lead to lasting results. Yeah, not the once in a while, but the everyday actions. So what I would really like to encourage people, is to aim for progress, not perfection. Aim for progress, not perfection. Every step forward is a positive step. So don't have to say, oh, must I be a vegetarian, or must I, completely stop smoking. Some people struggle with it. So I always tell them, okay, look, aim for progress, not perfection.
Gusto ko yun, no? Kailangang nag-i-improve at hindi maging perfecto, no? So that's a good thing because pagka ganon, at least meron tayong motivation na kakayanin natin, no? Hindi masyadong malaki kundi kakayanin natin araw-araw. Okay, I have this question because there's a lot of working people who are listening to us. I'm busy. I don't have much time because I have a lot of deadlines. What do I need to do or perhaps plan so that in the workplace, I'll not be forced to eat unhealthy things?
Great question. Yeah. So again, it's about planning. Yeah. So many of our clients, for example, what they would do is they would, prepare something that they can pack and bring for lunch. Yeah. Because I have been to almost every city in the Philippines. And I know it is not easy to find healthy food outside. Yeah. So you need to set the structure right, just like what I mentioned about my sweet potato, so I make sure I have that at home all the time, so anytime I feel that craving, I can make my sweet potato fries. So similarly, it must be things that you enjoy, okay?
Right.
So think to yourself, what do you enjoy? If you don't like broccoli, never mind. Maybe you can try spinach. If you don't like spinach, maybe there has to be some foods that you enjoy. Maybe it's avocado, for example.
Right.
That's another easy thing to do. I do guacamole, and I put it in a glass bottle and put it in the fridge. And from there, you can do a few batches. Yeah, make sure you have plenty of lemon juice so it doesn't turn black. Do a few batches, and in the morning, you just bring that to work. The guacamole, and
Right.
yeah. So there are always ways, provided we are motivated enough.
Yeah. So, una muna, motivation para magkaroon tayo ng interest sa gagawin natin. Kasi kung may motivation tayo, gusto nating mabuhay ng mahaba, na healthy, then that is our motivation. Then gagawin natin ang lahat. Magpaplano, mag-spare ng time para magluto ng sariling pagkain. You are right, no? Sa Philippines, it's really hard to buy healthy food. Like, it's unlike like in other countries, there's a lot of healthy restaurants, but not in the Philippines, no?
Yeah.
The irony of it, because there should be a lot of agricultural lands wherein plants are grown. But the thing
Yeah.
is, it's influxed much by fast food. So that also happens to me. So what do I do? If I can schedule meeting wherein I am not outside during lunch or dinner, so that I would have an healthy option because I prepare my food. Or if that is impossible, then I pack really my lunch. I bring my flask, water wherein I can place lemon, or if I can boil ginger or turmeric, so that will be my water instead of drinking cold drinks outside. And sometimes I really prepared a bag. I have a bag, a lunch bag for me, a lunch box, and which I bring all the time. And if they would invite me to eat food, I would tell them, okay, I am not hungry because I've eaten earlier than the meeting. Or if I would tell them, like if they would ask, what do you prefer for food? So my staff would immediately say, oh, she only eats vegetables. So now they will really try their best to find a restaurant that will deliver vegetables. But yes, it will be a lot cheaper. It's cheaper. It's healthier if you prepare your own food. Why? Because you know the ingredients that they use. You know how you've handled it. You probably are the cleanest in preparing your food than depending on others for your health. Okay, so this is a beautiful discussion because most of the working class, most of the working people are really, really pressured with that word health because there's no time to think about health. But you are saying simple things in order to inject that health. Do you have before we end, do you have other news or other announcements? Perhaps you have a group that you like to announce so that, the Filipino people would have the option of seeking a group like your group so that they can continue with their health options.
So absolutely. So the last actionable tip to help you start your health journey is really to find a supportive environment. So you need to develop a group of friends, people, resources that together you encourage and reinforce healthy behaviors. I think BFF Atty knows that as well, because I think you have a group as well, so you encourage each other, give tips on simple for example, simple snacks, and things like that. So I think that's very important. If you don't have that network, well, do link up with us, and we can of course share with you resources. Maybe even if you really need to, you can engage a health coach who will be partnering you in that journey.
Right.
Because that is what we need.
Right. So though friends, we are going to, when we post our live stream in Facebook, we will be attaching there your link to Health Coach International. But if you don't have yet, please look for Health Coach International, and you will definitely find more of Jessica and her group supporting on a habits of health. And of course, we will announce also in the program sometime if this book is already out in the public. So for now, we would like to say thank you, Jessica. And you will be, as I said, since we are partners already in this advocacy, you will see more of her every month, and also in the trainings that we do, you will also
Yes.
see her and some of her group mates. So thank
Yeah.
you, Jessica.
Thank
I love you,
you.
BFF, and God
You
loves us
too.
more. Love, love,
Yes.
love.
Must try!
Winning tips.
Money matters. Love and me.
Aha! Pag-usapan na yan kasama ang iyong mga BFF.